Most people think the stock market is a place where smart people get rich. That's the story everyone tells. But if you look closer, it often looks more like a giant guessing game. One day your portfolio is green, and everyone feels like a genius. The next day, everything turns red, and suddenly nobody can explain what just happened. The strange part is that the underlying companies might not have changed at all. So what exactly is going on here? Let's start with the basic idea most people miss. When you buy a stock, you're buying a tiny ownership stake in a business. That's it. Nothing mystical. If a company divides itself into millions or billions of pieces, each share is simply one of those pieces. If you hold a share of a company, you technically own a fraction of everything it produces: its products, profits, brand, and future growth. Think of it like owning a microscopic slice of a large pizza. The pizza is the company. Your slice might be tiny, but it still represents real ownership. In theory, the value of that slice should rise when the company becomes more successful. But here's where reality gets weird. Most people in the market aren't focused on the company itself. They're focused on the price tag attached to that slice, and that price tag moves constantly. Not because the company suddenly changed overnight, but because someone somewhere decided they're willing to pay a little more. Or a little less. In other words, the stock market is basically a massive auction that never closes. Every second, buyers and sellers are negotiating prices. The last trade becomes the current price everyone sees on their screen. That's all it is. The problem is that this auction is heavily influenced by human emotion: fear, excitement, speculation, rumors, headlines. A company can report strong earnings and still see its stock drop because investors expected something even better. Another company can lose money and see its stock rise simply because the losses weren't as bad as predicted. So the price isn't just about today's performance. It's about expectations for tomorrow. Investors are constantly trying to estimate what a business might become years from now. If enough people believe a company will dominate the future, the stock price can climb long before the profits actually arrive. This is why some of the biggest winners in the market looked completely unremarkable years earlier. Consider a graphics chip company a decade ago that few people outside gaming circles cared about. At the time, it wasn't dominating headlines or generating massive profits compared to tech giants. But a small group of investors noticed something important. Those chips were becoming essential for artificial intelligence. Fast forward 10 years, and that once overlooked company is now one of the most valuable businesses on the planet. Early investors weren't rewarded because the company was perfect at the time. They were rewarded because their prediction about the future turned out to be correct. The problem, of course, is that predicting the future is incredibly difficult. And that's where most people run into trouble. Because the stock market isn't just about companies, it's also about crowds. When crowds become optimistic, prices climb rapidly. Investors start feeling wealthier. News coverage becomes enthusiastic. More money flows into the market, pushing prices even higher. This upward phase is often called a bull market. These periods can last for years, sometimes even a decade, but optimism eventually turns into excess. At some point, something shakes confidence. It might be rising interest rates, a financial shock, or a sudden economic slowdown. And once fear enters the system, everything reverses. People begin selling. Falling prices trigger more selling. Panic spreads quickly. This is the beginning of a bear market. If the decline accelerates fast enough, we call it a crash. History has seen many of them. In 2008, the global financial system nearly collapsed after a housing bubble burst, and banks faced enormous losses. Markets around the world plunged dramatically. More recently, during the early months of the COVID pandemic, stocks dropped at record speed as economies shut down almost overnight. But here's the part most beginners overlook. Markets eventually recovered from every major crash. Sometimes it took months, sometimes years. But long-term investors who stayed invested through the chaos ultimately saw the system rebuild itself. The real damage usually happens to people who panic. When prices collapse, fear pushes many investors to sell at the worst possible moment. Losses become permanent the moment those shares are sold. Later, when markets recover, those investors are often sitting on the sidelines. This cycle repeats again and again. Another reason the market behaves strangely is speculation. Sometimes excitement grows around ideas that sound revolutionary, but have no workable business model behind them. At the height of the early internet boom, companies with little revenue were attracting enormous investment simply because they had a website and a promising concept. And see, some spent extraordinary amounts on marketing while losing money on every sale. Eventually, reality caught up, and many of those businesses disappeared almost as quickly as they arrived. Billions of dollars vanished with them. Yet speculation didn't end there. Years later, something even stranger happened. A struggling video game retailer became the center of a financial storm when thousands of individual traders online began buying the stock at the same time.
Their goal wasn't just profit. Many wanted to challenge hedge funds that had been betting the company would fail. As the buying pressure intensified, those funds were forced to repurchase shares at higher and higher prices to close their positions. The result was one of the most dramatic short squeezes ever recorded. For a brief period, the stock exploded upward, creating massive gains for some traders and enormous losses for others. It was a vivid reminder that markets are driven not only by spreadsheets and balance sheets, but also by human behavior. Crowds can push prices far beyond what logic alone would justify. Which brings us to the question everyone asks. If the market is this unpredictable, how do people actually build wealth from it? The answer is surprisingly simple and almost painfully boring. Instead of trying to guess which company will become the next superstar, many experienced investors choose to own the entire market. This is done through something called an index fund. An index fund holds shares in hundreds of companies at once, tracking a broad market index like the S&P 500. Buying one share of such a fund effectively gives you exposure to hundreds of major businesses simultaneously. Some companies inside that index will struggle, others will thrive, but the overall system tends to grow over long periods as economies expand and businesses innovate. Historically, the broad U.S. stock market has delivered an average annual return of around 10% over the long run. Not every year, of course. Some years are exceptional, others are painful. But over decades, that steady compounding has been incredibly powerful. Money invested consistently can multiply several times simply through time and patience. Dividends add another layer to this process. Many companies distribute part of their profits directly to shareholders. When those payments are reinvested, they purchase additional shares, which then generate their own dividends in the future. This compounding effect accelerates wealth growth quietly over time. Yet, most people never fully benefit from it. Why? Because emotions get in the way. When markets surge, investors often become overconfident and invest aggressively near the top. When markets crash, fear pushes them to sell near the bottom. In other words, they buy high and sell low, the exact opposite of what successful investing requires. One practical method to reduce this emotional timing problem is something called dollar cost averaging. Instead of trying to choose the perfect moment to invest, you simply contribute a fixed amount regularly, every month or every paycheck. When prices are high, that money buys fewer shares. When prices fall, the same amount buys more. Over time, the average purchase price evens out. The key advantage is psychological. You remove the pressure of predicting the market. You simply participate in it. And historically, consistent participation has rewarded patience far more reliably than constant trading. This leads to a few principles that tend to separate long-term investors from short-term speculators. First, time in the market is more powerful than perfect timing. Even professionals struggle to predict short-term movements consistently. Second, money needed in the near future should not be exposed to market volatility. Stocks are powerful long-term assets, but unpredictable over short horizons. And third, simplicity often wins. Investors who constantly jump between strategies, chase trends, and react to every headline frequently underperform those who quietly follow a disciplined plan. Ironically, the most effective strategy rarely feels exciting. It involves steady contributions, diversified investments, and long periods of patience. No dramatic trades, no viral stories, just mathematics working in the background. That's why you constantly hear about spectacular wins, massive gains from a single stock or cryptocurrency. Those stories spread quickly. The countless losses that accompany them rarely receive the same attention. So it can appear as if everyone around you is striking it rich. In reality, many people are simply taking bigger risks than they realize. The stock market can absolutely build wealth, but it usually does so slowly. The people who succeed are rarely the ones chasing the latest trend. They're the ones who treat investing as a long-term partnership with the growth of businesses and economies. And that process doesn't happen overnight. It unfolds quietly, year after year. Which means the biggest advantage in the stock market isn't secret information or perfect timing. It's patience. Because while luck might produce the occasional overnight success story, discipline is what actually builds lasting wealth.